Capital with Megan Cuomo. I'm Alan Bestwood. Chelsea Sherrod joins us shortly. So the headlines for today: Ice Brady not available for UConn, didn't make the trip with illness, and Paige Beckers won't play again today for the Huskies, recovering from that knee sprain. And in the first game, the Huskies were without Paige. AZ Fudd stepped up in a big way. They'll need that today.
She did. You know, everything in life is timing, right? And AZ made a perfect decision, let's say, to play her best of the season. And we know she's a great shooter, right? The best three-point shooter on this team. But my goodness, she scored in so many different ways. Of her season-high 23 points, only 9 of them were from beyond the arc, showing her diversity and how hard she works. She really wanted to get into the lane, get into traffic, and score while getting fouled, showing just how much she's grown her game, and they're going to need her to do that here today.
You see the most points since November of 22 for AZ Fudd in that last game Wednesday against Xavier. Our starting lineup for the Huskies today, presented by Subaru of New England. There are the 5, so again, no Paige. So Ashlyn Shade is among the starters in the group, along with Caitlin Shen, Sarah Strong, Jenna Alalfi, and the aforementioned AZ Fudd. Gino Auriemma looking for a 55th victory against just 3 losses versus Georgetown. The overall record, an 88.2% win percentage. And man, what
amazing numbers, right?
Yeah, what those numbers, every time they come on the screen, they shock me. It's really wild. So Huskies in the National Flag Blue road uniforms, Georgetown in the home whites. And we're underway here in the nation's capital. Number 1, Kelsey Ransom with the ball there, the leading scorer in the Big East. Defended by Chen. Here's Cotty Hession. First shot doesn't go. Good rebound by Sarah Strong.
Boy, did she just elevate and go up and rip that ball down.
Caitlin Chen gets on the board and breaks a long, dry spell of shooting.
And sometimes the best way to get out of a shooting slump is to score in transition in a layup, such as what we just saw.
She was 0 for her last 10 from the floor in the last 2 games. Today starts out in a very positive way for the grad student. Here's Ariel Jenkins. And now Ransom guarded by Fudd. 3-point shooting threat here is Victoria Rivera. She lets fly, it rattles around and goes for 2.
I'm not surprised she made that. She just made a great cut and they missed her and she wanted the ball.
Fudd.
She found it.
Good ball movement, but mishandled in the paint. And Rivera will come up with it. Cotty Hession, a freshman out of Miami, who's become a key player for this Georgetown team midway through this season. Can the Huskies keep the Big East leading scorer off the board like they did back in December in Hartford? There's Jenkins. They're big, shooting from outside.
That changes the game when your 6'3" center can knock down long-range shots.
That is her 6th made 3 of the season for Ariel Jenkins. Here's Sarah Strong. Alalfi fumbles, picks up. Plenty of time, left her alone. Couldn't make the shot.
Georgetown does a really good job of boxing out and going after that defensive rebound, limiting UConn to 1 shot there.
Long shot from outside by Jaden McBride, misses, and Alalfi with the rebound for UConn. 3-point Husky lead just underway here in Washington. Sarah Strong takes the feed inside and gets the points. Nice connection, the assist there from Caitlin Chen. So a 1-point ball game. Did I say a 5-2 UConn lead before? My bad. And that is going to be over and back and a turnover.
And it's funny, Billy Smith said it got touched.
So there's Darnell Haney, the Georgetown coach, his 2nd season as the head coach. He was the interim head coach a year ago after the untimely passing of Tasha Butts due to breast cancer. Made the full-time head coach for the Huskies after taking the Hoyas, after taking the team to the Big East Championship game against the Huskies last March. Here's Shade. Yes. So UConn with the lead by 1. It's going to be a turnover. Well, they're going to consult. And it's going to be Georgetown basketball. Keys to the game presented by Nissan.
You know, Gino Auriemma, his teams have always done a good job of taking away the other team's leading scorer. They've got to shut down Kelsey Ransom. And they've got to get into the lane, attack, and drive, and not just settle for open jump shots.
So UConn with the full court defensive pressure here. They said the ball went off a Huskies' foot and out of bounds. Here's Hessian. Now Rivera. Finds space, lets the three go, and it goes. Wow. Victoria Rivera.
What a tough shot.
The freshman Hessian defends well as Chen drove. The kick out to Shade. No, too strong. Long rebound. Right back to her. And she drains the two.
That's the only way that's going to open up this defense, which is clogging up the lane. UConn has to knock down open shots to draw the defense out.
4 of UConn's 8 points for Ashlyn Shade in this one. As Ransom tries to drive. Fudd was there. Alalfi was there. Ball loose, though. Here's McBride. Got the three. Jaden McBride, the freshman from Erie, Pennsylvania.
Another one. I tell you, if they can continue to shoot like this, it'll be a long afternoon for the Huskies.
They're a 35% three-point shooting team. And they've made 3 of 4 for 75% early on. Here's Shade again with the pull-up. Doesn't go. Nice rebound for Strong. Got blocked. Tried to throw it off a Georgetown player out of bounds. And good hands there by Kadi Hessian. Almost midway through this opening quarter. Rivera again with the quick release. That one missed short. Ransom will get fouled and get the bucket.
Just a savvy play by Ransom to track down that offensive rebound. There was no one near her. And then you see Alalfi came over late. And she bodied her, for sure.
So the foul on Alalfi, and she goes to the bench. And Morgan Shelley comes into the ball game as a sub. There is Ransom. Free throw missed. And UConn's going to turn the basketball over. Remember the game back at XL Center? It was a 4-point game at the end of the first quarter. And then UConn started the second quarter with a 9-0 run to kind of get the train rolling down the tracks. So midway through this opening quarter, KK Arnold headed to the scorer's table to check in for UConn. There's Hessian. Darnell Haney calling a play. Hessian stops, pulls up, left alone, and makes the three.
There's just a swagger and a confidence about this Georgetown team right now. You love to see it.
4 of 6 from outside for the home squad. Here's Fudd. Got it. Nice move.
You know, we talked about it off the top. She's not just a three-point shooter. Is so dangerous on the dribble as well.
First points of the day for the DC area native, AZ Fudd. And that stopped an 8-0 Georgetown run. 6-point deficit for UConn. It's going to be fumbled away out of bounds and get us to a timeout here with 4:01 to go in this opening quarter in Washington, D.C.
A junior in high school, and she was winning a state championship. She told me that it feels so good to be back home and to finally be able to play. She said that she has a lot of family here to watch her, including her grandmother, Peggy, who was watching her play in a UConn uniform in person for the first time ever. And get this, I spoke to her mother, Katie, who also played at Georgetown, and she told me that every year she would buy a ton of tickets for this game. And AZ wasn't able to play, so she said this year I'm not going to buy any tickets and hope that she'll be able to play, and thankfully she is. So just a really cool full circle moment for AZ and the Fudd family, Alan.
Yeah, absolutely. Hazy, one of 2 DC area players on the UConn roster. She lets that fly. It's short, and a long rebound gobbled up by Ransom. Caden Samuels, also from Maryland in the DC area. So here's KK Arnold into the ball game for Caitlin Chen. So it's Fudd, Arnold, Shade, Strong, and Shelley, who just got that rebound for UConn. Shelley ran into Ariel Jenkins and was able to reverse. Here's Fudd now. Sees space. Got it tipped.
Great help defense there by Georgetown.
Ransom cut off. That was good defense by Shade. She'll step around and leave the shot short.
And then finished off the play by boxing and getting the rebound.
Sarah Strong will try the 3. That was way off the mark. And batted around. It winds up in the hands of Rivera. Georgetown normally shoots 41% from the floor and 35% from three. They're 50% from the floor so far in the game and 67% from 3.
This has been a season-long trend for UConn. Notre Dame did it, USC did it. Shot record numbers from 3-point range.
You always get the other team's best shot when you're UConn,
right? Be prepared.
That's right. They don't have any idea that the shot clock is running out, and Georgetown will turn the ball over.
Two really good defensive teams. Both coaches take great pride in teaching defense. And it certainly shows.
You see 3 turnovers apiece in this game so far. Fudd with the release and the bucket.
I mean, she caught that ball and stood sideways, not even squared up to the basket. It's like, easy. You're the best shooter in the gym. Look to shoot.
Defender gave her space. She took it.
She doesn't need a lot of space, that is for sure.
So it's a 4-point Georgetown lead. Here is Victoria Rivera. And Shelley couldn't get the steal as she tried to get the ball away from Siobhan Ryan. Now here's Ransom, shot clock at 6. Out to Jenkins, short. Shelley gathers in the rebound.
Arnold's defense on Ransom is so good.
And frustrate the opponent's leading scorer, send KK Arnold after her, right? Bud, double team. You're gonna fight for the ball. How did Strong get that ball out?
That was unreal.
And Arnold drains the 3 to make it pay.
And that's what Arnold needs to do consistently for this team, is knock down open 3s.
She's been on a bit of a heater lately, but the star of that play was Sarah Strong.
How Sarah Strong got that ball out to the corner, the presence of mind, plus to be able to get it there was just phenomenal.
So 1-point ball game. Here's Jenkins. That's a travel and a turnover to UConn.
You know, things aren't always pretty, but you got to find a way. Watch this. Sarah, you talk about basketball IQ and just knowing what plays to make. She knew that her teammate was open in the corner, and she just knew she had to get the ball there. Just an outstanding basketball play.
And she almost talked about Sarah Strong's court vision. How she knew Morgan Shelley was there, who knows? That one, Fudd ran into traffic.
That was telegraphed.
And here's Rivera. Good closeout by Shade. And Georgetown will reset. KK Arnold right in front of us. The face she's making, trying to get the intensity up on defense. That was a nice play to the bucket. That was Connie Hessian. She's up to 5 points, 2 of 3 shooting.
Smart play by Hessian.
So 12 seconds to go in this opening quarter. Strong sets the pick. Fudd to Strong. All the way to the rim, the floater, no. Gets her own miss, and it goes up and in with 1.1 to go. UConn using the last 4 minutes of this opening quarter to close the gap. What was a 6-point deficit is now just 1. Sarah Strong capping off the first.
1 of 4.
Now, in the December 15th game at Hartford, remember that was a 4-point game at the end of 1. UConn opened the second quarter with a 9-0 run to move out. I know I said that before, but I'll repeat it again because here we are at the start of the second quarter. Can the Huskies knock the door open here?
And for these two teams to face each other in less than a month's time, you know, they know each other's tendencies. They make adjustments.
Caitlin Chen, strong.
Another smart take there by Chen. I've been so impressed with Chen, the transfer from Princeton.
You can tell listening to her how much more comfortable she is in the setting.
Had to be pretty intimidating transferring here.
Yeah, you'd think, right? Here's Jenkins, defended by Strong. Too strong on the shot. And good aggressive rebound there by Shade. A chance for UConn to add to a 1-point lead. Shade from Chen, no, too strong. And Hession gets the rebound for Georgetown.
That was a nice job by Shade to open up along the perimeter where Chen could see her. Couldn't get the shot to drop, but it was a smart basketball play by Shade.
Now the defensive switch, it's Chelly guarding Hession. Here's Ransom trying to move. The feed back out to Hession. She gets the bucket for three on the UConn bad switch.
Yeah, bad communication defensively, and Georgetown took advantage.
So the Hoyas back out in front by 2. Chen takes advantage of space and banks it in. That's a 2.
I'm not sure if she called bank, but she'll take it.
It worked. So Caitlin Chen with the hot hand early in this one. 3 of 3 from the floor. Hession drains another 3 for Georgetown. Let's check with Chelsea.
Yeah, in that last huddle, Alan, Gino wasn't necessarily happy with the team's defense in the first quarter. He said, our goal on defense is to make them do something they don't want to do. He said, so far, they've been able to do everything they want to do. He told them, offensively, I want you to attack harder, get into our offense faster. He said, this game is too slow. Let's pick it up. And it seems like they've been picking it up so far to start this quarter, Alan.
Interesting to hear the discussion of style of play.
Well, I knew he wasn't happy.
Yeah, well, there's Ariel Jenkins, too strong. Kelsey Ransom with an aggressive rebound. And Strong will get called for fouling Jenkins as she tried to go up to the rim.
You got to give so much credit to Kelsey Ransom for tracking down that offensive rebound. That was just pure effort. She wanted it more than anybody else.
So here is Ariel Jenkins at the free throw strike. Senior from Piscataway, New Jersey, 6'3". Led the team with 12 points in the game in December up at the XL Center. Missed their last game against Villanova with an illness, but is back on the floor for this one. Set her career high of 22 points on a couple of different occasions this season, did Jenkins.
She leads the league with 10 rebounds a game. I mean, she's a great player for this Georgetown team. She's tough to defend. Big, strong body in the lane.
Makes the free throws and heads to the bench for a breather, and Kalia Myrex will come into the ball game. Senior from Hamilton, New Jersey, will take that big spot for Georgetown. So a 3-point Hoya lead here. Allie Zabel into the ball game for UConn. Strong will get fouled as she took it to the rim.
It was almost an afterthought to drive. But she noticed there was no backside help. Really strong take to the basket. The Georgetown bigs cannot guard her when she drives from the top of the key. And UConn needs Sarah Strong more involved on the offensive end of the floor.
Is it just me, or is this building really quiet?
It's weird.
Yeah, there's kind of a funny vibe here today. Ransom rebounds the miss. So 1 of 2 for Strong from the free throw stripe. She's got 5 points today. Caitlin Chen leading UConn with 6. Connie Hession leading Georgetown with 11 already. Here's Ransom, double teamed, kicks it out. That'll be McBride, doesn't go, long rebound though. And Georgetown will get a chance to reset. Hession sees space, takes it all the way in, no.
UConn lucky she missed that. What a good take by Hession.
Here's Fudd. Wow, fought through the traffic, wound up on the floor, but got the bucket. That's 6 points for Fudd, 3 of 4 shooting today. How about this lineup on the floor for UConn? Got 3 freshmen on the floor. And shot missed from Ransom, and the rebound by Strong. Strong going to take it all the way in. High class, wow.
She can score in just so many different ways.
It looks like she's off balance, and she's just making space for herself to put the ball where she wants. So UConn with a 2-point lead now. Georgetown 0 for their last 4 trips down the floor. Hession got it for 3. Here's the bell. Now Strong. Gonna take it herself. Shot short.
She overthought that. She could have taken a jumper. She could have taken a jumper when she first got the ball, driven right by the kid.
So the star of the game so far has the ball in her hands. Number 8 for Georgetown. Hession is hot as the orange on those sneakers she's wearing. Now here's Rivera, guarded by Chelly, tries to drive, steps back and drains it. That's a tough shot. Good make.
A really tough shot, and it can't be guarded.
Georgetown shooting 58% from 3 in this game. UConn 20%. Here's the bell. Nice kick out to Chelly, and it goes for 3.
Nice job by Chelly to get things going a little bit offensively for UConn, but as Chelsea told us from that previous huddle she was in, defensively, UConn has got to step it up, pressure the ball, and not let Georgetown do what they want to do.
Hession throws one up from the corner. That doesn't go, and the rebound's the bell for UConn. 31 apiece here. Zabel lets the 3 go. That's too strong. And nice rebound by Hession. The line on Hession today, 14 points, 5 of 8 shooting, 4 of 5 from outside. She's got 3 rebounds and an assist.
I know Hession wasn't happy the way she played after that game up at UConn at the XL Center. She certainly made up for it here in the first half.
Long pass, barely pulled in by Myrick's. Out to Rivera for 3, no. And Shelley will let the rebound go out of bounds and get us to a timeout. 3:15 to go until halftime here at Washington. 5'9" freshman from St. Thomas Aquinas High School, Connie.
You gotta give her a lot of credit.
She averages 5.6 points per game. You see, she's already got 14. That's a new career high in her freshman season. She only had 10 made threes all season, starting the day today. And she's got 4 just in this one. So what about UConn? What do you need to see more of here for these Huskies?
Defensively, they've got to up the pressure, and they've got to be aggressive offensively. You know, what do we talk about all the time? Turning defense into offense. Got to give Georgetown credit. They've done a good job of, and what did Darnell Heaney tell us before the game? Take care of the basketball. Yeah. Don't turn it over.
Said got to protect the ball with your life. 4 turnovers for each side in this one today so far. Chelly, Arnold, Zabel, Shade, and Fudd, the 5 on the floor. Arnold with an acrobatic basket.
That shot almost defied physics. How did it go in?
I don't know, I'm just thinking back to the game earlier where the layup almost rolled off the rim and she blessed herself after. Well, maybe she had a little divine help there, too.
Yeah,
You never know.
something.
Yeah. Arnold got hands on the basketball. And that'll get tied up on the floor.
Darnell Haney just got a warning. Look at that shot. Some acrobatics. It's well defended, too.
Wow. KK with 7 points in this one. The alternating possession arrow, the ball will be Georgetown's. And again, Darnell Haney being admonished for, I think it was coming outside the coaching box and getting after the official.
He was yelling at official Jeffrey Smith. He thought there should have been a foul called. He didn't. I don't know if he quite came out of the box, but he was, I guess, voicing his opinions quite strongly. And Jeffrey, who's an experienced official, just said, "All right, calm down.
That's it.
This is a warning."
Yeah.
And wisely, Darnell quieted down.
Ransom saved the ball from crossing the timeline, and there'll be a time violation and a turnover to UConn. Gary Apple and Karen Walters standing by with all the first half highlights and analysis on the UConn women's basketball halftime show presented by Duncan. 2 minutes and 10 seconds of playing time away. How about this lineup on the floor for you? Oh, Jana El-Alfi just went back into the ballgame for UConn, so some size in there now. Arnold out to Flood. Zabel will tee it up. Around and out. That was a visiting arena rim.
It was a smart take by Zabel as it went halfway down. Myrick's is guarding her. And I don't think she can guard her on the perimeter.
Ransom. Shot deflected right into the hands of Jenkins. That still won't go. Ransom gets the miss. Finds Rivera from the corner, and that shot won't go. Long rebound to Arnold. Shade tries to run ahead of the pack. KK will slow it down. Too many white jerseys. Flood sets the feet and drains the three.
That's where Flood can be so deadly with that lightning quick release. The defense isn't really set, running back on defense. Such a quick shot.
So a sudden 8-0 run for UConn gives the Huskies a 5-point lead. Here's Ransom all the way in, and it goes.
Ransom loves to drive to her left. Huskies are trying to limit that look. She got her way that possession.
Leading scorer in the Big East with 4 points in this one. 2 of 6 shooting. Shade now. Oof. Threw that pass through the back of a Georgetown defender. El-Alfi got it and drove it.
That's the productivity that UConn needs from El-Alfi. She's got to score and be effective on the offensive end of the floor, and then down on the defensive end, don't commit fouls, contest, and get rebounds.
Jada Wilson finds Myrick's underneath, and that ball is knocked away.
Nice job by El-Alfi just to get down there, knock that shot away. It remains Georgetown ball. Good active hands while not committing the foul.
There you go. So 17.5 to go in this second quarter. Georgetown won for their last 7. Now Haney calling out the play he wants. Flood defending the freshman Jada Wilson. 5 to shoot. Jenkins from outside. The rainbow shot off the rim short. And that's going to be how this first half is going to end. Well, certainly a slow start for UConn where their offensive production is concerned, but a little burst at the end of this second quarter for UConn will send the teams to the locker room with the Huskies leading by 5. They trailed by as many as 8 earlier in the game. Our interview with Gino is presented by your local New England Honda dealers. Chelsea?
Just a 5-point game right now. At one point, they were shooting close to 60% from 3. What adjustments do you need to make defensively in the second half?
You know, it's crazy because they're averaging like 65 points a game or 60 points a game. So that's what happens when you're on the road, you know. A couple of them go in, then everybody gets all excited, and then they all start going in. So we just got to do a better job of getting through some of these screens, a little tighter on some of these threes, but it's what you got to expect this, you know. I mean, that's what happens when you get on the road, and we got to be better down the offensive end too. I don't think we're getting a lot of the movement that we want. So, yeah, we got a lot of work to do.
It seems like KK has given you a bit of a spark off the bench. 7 points for her. What kind of impact does she make offensively as well as defensively?
Yeah, I think that's the key. Is for KK to be aggressive like that. You know, which we got to keep pushing it for her. Keep pushing the ball. Keep pushing the ball. Keep being a factor defensively here. But we got to get AZ more involved, right? So that's going to be a big part of the second half.
All right, thank you.
Thoughts of the head coach, Gino Auriemma, as he heads to the locker room to discuss things over with his staff and his players. The hometowner, D.C. area native AZ Fudd, leading the way on the scoreboard for UConn with 9. The halftime show is next. By 5 points with Megan Kumo. Alan Bestwick, Chelsea Shiradri joins us in just a minute. So looking at the UConn play from the first half, someone who stood out to you was who?
I thought KK Arnold came in and did a really good job, disrupted things for Georgetown. I mean, her defense, we know, is so good, but when she can knock down shots, that's just changes the game completely. But she did a terrific job guarding the Big East leading scorer in Kelsey Ransom. But again, being able to knock down, she was perfect from the floor. And really good defense here, forcing the shot clock violation, 1 of 2 in that first half at UConn forced. That's just the defensive presence and the energy and the way she changes the game, which is what Gino really wants her to do.
Chelsea was hanging around the tunnel as Georgetown head coach Darnell Haney came back to the court. What did he say, Chelsea?
Yeah, Alan, Coach Haney said, you know, we have to make sure that we are staying the course and sticking to our game plan. He said that it cannot be our fault that they are having success. He said we have to do a much better job at paying attention to our assignments and not allowing them to score because of our mistakes. But it seemed like at the half that Coach Haney was in pretty good spirits, so he did like what he saw for the most part from the Hoyas.
All right, Chelsea, thanks. And for the UConn coaching staff, chance to address some things and tune it up at halftime. We'll see how this third quarter goes. Huskies start with possession in the National Flag Blue Road uniforms.
But let's be honest, Darnell Haney is always in a good mood. He's a great guy, happy guy, just fun to be around.
He's certainly had an impact on this Georgetown program and its outlook. Fight for the rebound here. El Alfi tracks it down. And is going to get a foul called. That was her own teammate that hit her face. That was friendly fire there.
Was that a foul on El Alfi?
Yeah, that's what's been called. And our officiating crew today, Jeffrey Smith, Billy Smith, and Maggie Tiemann, talking it over. And sending the teams to their bench. They're going to go look at that one on the monitor. So the initial call is a foul on Jana El Alfi. And they'll go and have a look at this one and maybe see the same thing we just did, that the contact on Ransom was from her own teammate, Ariel Jenkins.
It looked like Jenkins was the one. If you look at 21 on the right, it was her left arm. El Alfi did a good job of coming underneath that double team. You see, it was that hand, the left hand,
yep,
is what scratched Ransom.
So a look at it here with just 19 seconds played in this third period.
So watch this left hand. Right there, you see her hand? Right there, she scratches her. El Alfi did a good job of getting underneath that double team, stepping through.
This would be the second foul on Jenna El-Alfi called. And while they take the time to look at it, let's take a break and get a media timeout out of the way here from D.C. Back live in Washington, D.C., the officiating crew still discussing the review of the foul called on Jenna El-Alfi, as El-Alfi was surrounded by Ariel Jenkins and Kelsey Ransom and was fighting for this loose ball. No whistles yet.
It's hard to understand what they could be looking at for this long. Are they trying to say that El-Alfi threw some elbows or shoulder? Or?
So from when the whistle was blown, it was the contact on the face of Ransom and her falling backwards.
Gino didn't look that upset.
Here we go. All right, that mic went to the public address system, I believe. So everybody in the house knows what was called there.
Inadvertent whistle.
So that will be
UConn ball in the corner.
Yep. And Jenna El-Alfi will have just the one foul. And now the explanation to Darnell Haney over in front of the Georgetown bench. All right, so Huskies going to inbound the ball here with 18 to shoot.
It may have taken a little while, but they got
it right.
Yeah, they did the right thing.
Knocked away. And that's going to be off of Fudd and be turned over anyway.
It was a nice wasted possession for UConn, huh?
Yeah.
I feel like everybody's got to wake up again.
Full court pressure by UConn. Ball is knocked away by Chen, but it is out of bounds off UConn.
I thought it went off Hession's feet, but it remains Georgetown ball. Good hustle by Chen.
Again, UConn trying to pressure the inbounds pass, and Ransom will come away with it. Kelsey Ransom, the grad student, fifth-year player for Georgetown. Their undisputed team leader. And she was given a rough go when the game up in Hartford, December 15th.
Yeah, and just an all-around great kid.
Here's Rivera, lets the three fly. No, rebound goes right to McBride.
No one boxed her out. Good job by McBride to get in there for inside position for that offensive rebound.
Jaden McBride with 5 points on the game. Here's Fudd, finds El-Alfi. From beyond the free throw line, it rattles in.
Imagine if El-Alfi could consistently hit that free throw jumper, you know, maybe a few steps back from that free throw line. That would make this team so much better, so much more dangerous offensively.
2 of 3 today for El-Alfi for 4 points. There's Ariel Jenkins. Looking for the hot hand. Kadi Hesher got strong guarding her. And Ransom guarded by Shade. Finds a spot in the paint. Shot was blocked.
She doesn't like to drive right. She's better, more comfortable driving left. They're doing a good job making her go right.
Shade feeds El-Alfi, who missed the layup, and another fight underneath. It's going to be a tied-up basketball, and that will be Georgetown's on the alternating possession.
See, forcing her right, you can see so clearly they're making her go to her right. Good help by El-Alfi, but then on the other end, she's got to make that layup. That would have been such a momentum swing for UConn.
A great pass by Shade to find her there.
It was an outstanding pass. Too bad she doesn't get the assist.
Strong gets hands in and ties the ball up, and that'll be turned over to UConn.
What a good double team by Fudd and Strong. They just enveloped her in that corner. She had nowhere to go. I mean, that's a perfect double team. And Chen, nice job. And Shade, one pass away. What you want to do is steal the pass coming out of the double.
Fudd lets it fly. That misses, but Shade is there to scoop up the errant shot. Strong. And now Fudd. That goes. That's 3.
What a pass from Strong, too. Nice to see Fudd shoot it immediately after the miss previously.
Hession driving. Strong stayed with her, but Hession stepped back and got a shot. When you're hot, you're hot.
She is in a great groove here today.
16 of Georgetown's 37.
It's incredible.
Alalfi thought about it again, missed it, went after her own rebound, and got it. Player down on the floor, hurt underneath the basket, and they'll stop play. That's a dangerous spot to be. That's Victoria Rivera who is down. So Rivera, the junior from the Houston area, Pasadena, Texas, is injured on the play. Georgetown medical staff out along with Coach Haney to have a look.
They're both fighting for the ball, and she fell.
Oh, her left leg got kind of...
Yeah, she immediately grabs her hip, and she's favoring her left leg. Watch how her left foot and leg was just so awkward when she landed. You could see her with her left hand grab her left side.
Yeah.
Certainly hope she's okay. She's walking back to the locker room. Well, Alfie did a nice job pursuing. Just walking with the feet.
That's tough. So we'll hope for the best for Victoria Rivera as she heads to the Georgetown locker room. UConn will inbound the basketball with 18 to shoot.
Looks like another warning for Darnell Haney, this time from official Billy Smith.
He's out there questioning something. Not sure whether he was questioning shot clock time or whatever, but we're back at it. Chen, double team, travel, trying to put the brakes on.
And the problem was, Alalfi did such a good job, was open posting in that low post. Got to get her the ball.
Here's Siobhan Ryan into the ball game. 32 from Georgetown. Strong will steal it away. And smartly takes it between defenders.
Her hands are so quick.
This is the biggest lead of the ball game for UConn at 8. Remember, Georgetown led this game by 8 points in the first quarter. Skip pass to Jenkins. Quick close on her by Alalfi to shut the shot opportunity off. 4 to shoot. Ball on the floor. And it's going to be fouls called on Georgetown.
Look at that. First tipped it, and then the second tip, and then ran it down. And then the nice finish. The kid just continues to impress.
Ariel Jenkins called for the foul. You've used this phrase before about a couple other players in the time we've done this together, but where would this team be without her?
Oh my goodness, right? You can't even imagine.
Strong. Out for 3, but Fudd there for the rebound, and a second chance here for the Huskies. Shade. That rattles home for 3.
And she pointed at Sarah Strong, saying, thanks for the pass.
Timeout, Georgetown. UConn has come alive since about midway through the second quarter, and now opens up a double-digit lead. They're by 11 now. Ashlyn Shade draining the last 3. Good to see Georgetown's Victoria Rivera back from the locker room and on the bike trying to loosen up as we have 5:50 to go in this third quarter. Como's Court Vision brought to you by Yale New Haven Health. What are you going to show us, Meg?
Well, UConn's full court pressure. Now, you see Strong, Fudd, and Chen, okay? Now, Kelsey Ransom comes up, and she plays right into UConn's hands, catching the ball here, because now it's just, you got the end line is the defender, so she can't go there. The other two kids, Chen and Shade, do a great job of denying the pass to the next player, and she's stuck in the corner with a terrific double team. That was just textbook full court pressure by Gino's team.
So the Georgetown timeout as the UConn lead grew to 11 points. And a conversation happening momentarily between Chris Daly and the officiating trio. CD seemed to leave that group satisfied. There's Paige Beckers out for a second consecutive game after the knee sprain suffered at Villanova. Expecting sooner than later for Paige to return.
Kindly, Jeffrey Smith just came over to say Chris Daly's questioning was, what's going to be the next held ball? Whose possession is it? So the next held ball will be white. And he came over, he goes, I know you'd be wondering.
Yeah. There's Ransom, nice floater. So Ransom to 6 points today, 3 of 8 shooting, but she got 7 rebounds, which is most in the ball game of anyone. Here's Chelly. Strong, lets the 3 ball go. Long rebound, and it's over everybody's head. KK Arnold will chase it down. Fresh 20-second shot clock for UConn to work with as Victoria Rivera goes to the scorer's table to check back into the ball game for Georgetown.
Nice, yeah, it's nice to see Rivera coming back in.
Shade, no. And Hession will chase the rebound down for Georgetown.
UConn just cannot get into a flow offensively from long range.
Darnell Haney calling out offensive set. Here's Hession, drawing a lot of attention from the UConn defense.
Yeah, well guarded that time by Fudd.
Ransom to her left and into the paint. Nice kick out. Long range shot is off the mark from Amanda Ajobue, the freshman from California. And so UConn here looking to add on to its advantage. Shelley, Arnold, Shade, Fudd, and Strong, the 5 on the floor for UConn. 10 to shoot. Here is Strong. Behind the back, and it's blocked.
Tough play there by Jenkins. Really well defended.
Ransom drives the paint, tried to make a short pass at top speed to Jenkins, and it heads out of bounds and will be...
So she took it right back, behind the back to change direction. But you have to give Jenkins a heck of a lot of credit. The 6'3" senior center with those long outstretched arms did a great job to block that shot.
So Rivera has checked back into the ball game. Good to see, and also exchanging one DC player for another for UConn. Caden Samuels has come into the ball game for AZ Fudd here. Foul in the traffic. Was that on Strong?
Yeah, I think she held.
No, it was on Shelley. That was her first.
Shelley.
Here's Ransom, guarded by Arnold. And the double team comes in from Strong. Stolen away. Samuels lets it go for 3. It's too strong, but Shelley gets the rebound and a second chance for UConn. Caden Samuels from Forestville, Maryland. Looking to see if she can make an impact before a lot of family and friends as well. Shelley with the spin move and up and in.
How about confidence, right? Growing confidence from the freshman. We love to see it.
Those are first points of the day. No, she's got 5. 2 for 2 for Shelley. She hit that 3 earlier from the corner. Here's Hession over Samuels. That did everything but go in.
Come on, you're home. You got to get that roll, right?
Wow. Is that just the second missed three of the game for Kari Hession for Georgetown? Shelley makes space, couldn't hit the shot. And Jenkins with the rebound for Georgetown. 2 minute and 45-second and counting scoring drought here for the Hoyas. Ransom drives, fouled.
Well, KK Arnold is such a good defender, forcing her right. See, that's the key. But then when the ball pulls up, look at this. Great hands, good double from Strong. And then two hands right in the ball, ripped it out of her hands. Outstanding defense from KK Arnold.
So Kelsey Ransom steps to the free throw line. The foul on Morgan Shelley, her second. And for Ransom, almost equaling her point output of the December 15th game up in Hartford. We talked with Kelsey earlier and said, what's the difference in this program of late? And she said, expectations are raised. Won more games last year than we ever won here in my time here. And she was more than happy to commit to come back for a fifth season.
She loves the staff. She wants to play in the WNBA, and she knows that this staff is going to help her be as prepared as she can be.
Strong defended well by Rivera. She'll step back and take the feed and drain the three.
And I love it. She knocked that in and then she clapped, which she shows very little emotion. I think that was a bit of relief. The ball went in.
1 of 4 from 3 for Strong today, but she's up to 12 points, tying AZ Fudd for the team lead in this one. Outside shot, around and out again from McBride, and Arnold comes up with the basketball.
But Ransom was right there, had her hand on it.
Strong again for 3, no. Shelley knocks the rebound, but Jenkins gets it. Nice outlet pass to Hession by Jenkins there. And UConn missed Rivera on defense, and she drains the 3. Good find by Hession.
Yeah, she leads the Big East coming into this game with threes made. I mean, you don't want to leave her that open.
10 points for Victoria Rivera. Here's Ashlyn Shade off the Strong screen and got it.
Shade is so steady and solid, coming off of the screen, turning the corner, and pulling up and knocking down the jumper.
Ransom cut off by Strong. Here comes Arnold to try and set the trap. Samuels defending Hession. Inside a minute to go in quarter number 3 here in DC. Hession cuts around, Samuels there, and the shot goes over the top. No foul called. UConn with pace and numbers. Nice ball movement and Shade, no. And Shelley steals the pass away. And Strong puts it in.
Heads up play by Shelley. It's a smart basketball play.
And a building that's been kind of quiet for the first part of the game with all the UConn fans in attendance. A little noise here beginning to happen as the Huskies have outscored Georgetown by 9 in this third quarter. Ten seconds to go in the period. Here's Hession. Over the top of Strong. No. Long rebound. It's Shelley. 4 seconds left. She'll feed Strong. They're going to review that to see if it got released before time expired. So they'll have a look at that. But meantime, the third quarter comes to an end here, and really the energy out of the locker room for UConn was a good one.
Yeah, and Georgetown looked a little gassed, I thought, that third quarter.
I don't think that one's going to count. Sold out the Entertainment and Sports Arena in 36 hours after tickets were put on sale for this game. A lot of Husky fans here. There is the evidence that that last shot by Sarah Strong did not get released before time expired.
You can see it's still in her hands when the light went on.
And so it's 57-43 as we enter the fourth quarter. Our game reset presented by your local New England Honda dealers. Early in this game, Connie Hession for Georgetown was red hot. She had 14 points in the first half and 2 in the third quarter.
Well, obviously there's adjustments that UConn is going to make, and they've made some good adjustments. They've stepped up a lot of their defensive pressure. And as I mentioned at one point, I thought Georgetown looked a little bit tired in that third quarter. And Darnell Haney told us before the game that's been one of the things that they've been trying to work on, is not getting gassed as the game goes on.
So Haney looking for Georgetown's first win over UConn since 1993, but they are at a deficit as we enter the fourth period, as UConn has a 14-point lead. That's the largest of the ball game for the Huskies. So Georgetown basketball to start the period. And here is Hession, defended by AZ Fudd, who's back in the ball game. Fudd, Strong, Arnold, Shade, and Chelly, the 5 on the floor for UConn. Rivera into Jenkins. Straight up with Strong, and the shot missed.
Great D by Strong and good help there by Chelly.
Arnold didn't see Ransom trailing the play, and Ransom steals it away.
It was a smart heads-up play by Ransom.
Neither team shot the ball particularly well in the third quarter. Here's Fudd defending Ransom. Shot clock at 10. Strong got the hand on the ball, knocked it away from Jenkins. 5 to shoot. Hession will let it fly, and it goes. That's a 3.
She just needed a little bit of room.
Sent Gino kind of walking down in front of his bench, shaking his head like, what are we doing here? Here is Shade. Now Strong is going to get fouled by Jenkins. That'll be the second on Jenkins. Our next UConn game on SNY is Wednesday night, back on the road, this time in Queens, as the Huskies head to Carnesecca Arena to take on St. John's. Our coverage starts with the pregame show at 6:30 Wednesday on SNY. I don't know if I can talk Meg into wearing a Carnesecca-ish sweater.
Do it in a minute.
Sounds like fodder for post-game conversation. Shot missed there from Fudd and into the hands of Ransom with the rebound. That's her 9th rebound of the ball game. Fudd went for the steal, missed it. Good switch and closeout by Arnold to keep Hession from getting a shot off. Here's Ransom, defended by Fudd. Makes her go to the right. We talked about that. Fudd got a hand on the ball and altered the shot.
Phenomenal defense there by AZ Fudd. Great rebound by Sarah Strong.
What a look. Arnold to Fudd. 4th 3.
I think Chelly set a really good screen, too, to give Fudd a little more room.
Sorry, Meg, the big Fudd family cheering section over behind the UConn bench with a big roar of that one.
They're unreal. They're everywhere.
Yes, they are. Here's a Jobue. Now Jenkins already down to 10 to shoot for Georgetown. Fudd defending a Jobue. Rivera comes out into the paint to Ransom. Double team there. Somebody got a hand on the ball. I think that was Strong.
It was either Shade or Strong, but good job by UConn to keep their hands up and be ready. That's a tough pass.
That was not asking for good things. Ransom defended by Shade. Who blocked the shot?
Wow. It's proof you never give up on a play. Phenomenal hustle by Ashlyn Shade just to run back, and then
might have got away with
her
one.
hand in there.
Might have got away with one there too. But A+ hustle play for Ashlyn Shade, and it'll be a timeout called by Georgetown. UConn opening up. Nice 60-46 advantage. And that's the home area of AZ Fudd. She's been one of the stars of the show for UConn.
She sure has, and while she's leading the team with 15 points, check out her defense here against Kelsey Ransom, forcing her right, making it difficult. Look at just perfect position, great footwork, and then hands straight up in the air, making the shot difficult, not committing a foul. Strong with the perfect rebound. Just AZ Fudd is just such a fundamentally sound basketball player. No one prepares more than her, works harder than her. She just does things the right way.
And again, weren't with us earlier, in her UConn career, getting to play at Georgetown for the very first time. Missed the other games in the nation's capital in her time at UConn. That is turned over by Georgetown out of bounds, and it'll be UConn basketball. There you go, making a little noise here in the visiting house. It's a traveling road show of sellouts for this UConn women's basketball team on the road. That is going to be out of bounds off UConn and be Georgetown basketball.
Well, the ball came in kind of hot, but Al-Alfi has to get better at keeping the defender on her back and having her hands up and ready for the pass. But the guard's got to help her and not fire it into her.
UConn averaging 10 turnovers a game this season. That was their 9th of the ball game. Georgetown committing 10 today after committing 20 in the game up in Hartford. There's Ransom going to her left, and that shot was altered. And it's going to be Georgetown ball, 15 to shoot.
So you watch, the screen is coming. She's trying to force her right, but she stays on top of the screen. Ransom is best when she's dribbling left. The ball was touched by Shade. Ransom is just so tough.
Check in, shot doesn't go. Al-Alfi with a rebound for UConn. Shade, Strong, Al-Alfi, Arnold, and Fudd, the 5 in the ball game for the Huskies. Fudd with the quick release, got it for 3.
She turns that corner and approaches that spot knowing she's going to just catch and shoot. She does her work before the ball comes in.
18 points for Fudd. Second high scorer of the ball game to this player for Georgetown, Kati Hessian, who gives it up. The Jelbué from the corner, no, and Arnold with the rebound for UConn. Caitlin Chen at the scorer's table waiting to check back into the ball game for the Huskies. She was the hot hand offensively at the start of the ball game for UConn. Here's Shade. Uses the Al-Alfi screen. Fudd steps inside. Arnold now. Look at that ball movement. 5 to shoot. Strong to Shade. They ran the defense around till somebody was wide open.
Shade needed that.
And a 9-0 run for the Huskies has opened the lead up to 20. Timeout Georgetown. Even the head coach applauding that last set, and why not? With 7:18 to go in the ball game in the nation's capital, and that's the home area of AZ Fudd. She's been one of the stars of the show for UConn.
She sure has, and while she's leading the team with 15 points, check out her defense here against Kelsey Ransom, forcing her right, making it difficult. Look at just perfect position, great footwork, and then hands straight up in the air, making the shot difficult, not committing a foul. Strong with the perfect rebound. AZ Fudd is just such a fundamentally sound basketball player. No one prepares more than her, works harder than her. She just does things the right way.
And again, weren't with us earlier, in her UConn career, getting to play at Georgetown for the very first time. Missed the other games in the nation's capital in her time at UConn. That is turned over by Georgetown out of bounds, and it'll be UConn basketball. There you go, making a little noise here in the visiting house. It's a traveling road show of sellouts for this UConn women's basketball team on the road. That is going to be out of bounds off UConn and be Georgetown basketball.
Well, the ball came in kind of hot, but Al-Alfi has to get better at keeping the defender on her back and having her hands up and ready for the pass. But the guard's got to help her and not fire it into her.
UConn averaging 10 turnovers a game this season. That was their 9th of the ball game. Georgetown committing 10 today after committing 20 in the game up in Hartford. There's Ransom going to her left, and that shot was altered. And it's going to be Georgetown ball, 15 to shoot.
So you watch, the screen is coming. She's trying to force her right, but she stays on top of the screen. Ransom is best when she's dribbling left. The ball was touched by Shade. Ransom is just so tough.
Again, shot doesn't go. Al-Alfi with a rebound for UConn. Shade, Strong, Al-Alfi, Arnold, and Fudd, the 5 in the ball game for the Huskies. Fudd with the quick release, got it for 3.
She turns that corner and approaches that spot knowing she's going to just catch and shoot. She does her work before the ball comes in.
18 points for Fudd. Second high scorer of the ball game to this player for Georgetown, Connie Hessian, who gives it up. The Jobue from the corner, no, and Arnold with the rebound for UConn. Caitlin Chen at the scorer's table waiting to check back into the ball game for the Huskies. She was the hot hand offensively at the start of the ball game for UConn. Here's Shade. Uses the Al-Alfi screen. Fudd steps inside. Arnold now. Look at that ball movement. 5 to shoot. Strong to Shade. They ran the defense around till somebody was wide open.
Shade needed that.
And a 9-0 run for the Huskies has opened the lead up to 20. Timeout, Georgetown. Even the head coach applauding that last set, and why not?
Thursdays on Fox, a new laugh out loud comedy.
Sir, yes, sir.
At your service.
I like this soldier.
He just ran into a door.
But at least he ran.
Welcome to Stroopsdorf.
The hell is this? General Davidson sent me here as a punishment.
How is Stroopsdorf a punishment?
You're named after a waffle.
Going Dutch, all new Thursdays on Fox.
66-46, half the fourth quarter still to come in AZ Fudd's hometown.
Now see Fudd right here in the corner. The screen, the defender goes behind. She comes all the way up, just catch and just release. Feet are set, shoulders square. Just perfection.
Here's Victoria Rivera with the basketball for Georgetown. Now Ransom guarded by Chen. They'll feed it to Jenkins, who will get fouled by Al-Alfi.
Al-Alfi did so much right there, but she left her feet, and then she was off balance and collided into the kid. Just stay on the ground. You're 6'5". Keep your hands up. Just keep moving your feet and keep your feet on the ground.
So second on Al-Alfi, and Ariel Jenkins at the free throw line, breaking a scoreless drought of 4 minutes and 10 seconds for Georgetown. The senior from Piscataway, New Jersey, who's gone from playing about 9 to 11 minutes a game for the last 3 seasons to playing almost 30 minutes a game for Georgetown, and she gets a couple more there.
Yeah, she made the Big East Weekly Honor Roll. Was named on Monday for 2 huge games last week.
Pass behind Shade, she's able to chase it down. Fudd able to pull in the hot handle.
Georgetown doing a nice job of having active hands. What a great skip pass.
Shot off the back iron for Fudd.
What a great find there by Sarah Strong.
Ransom with the pull up over Al-Alfi. No, and the rebound tapped and will wind up in the hands of UConn.
Unlucky bounce there for Ransom. She normally makes that shot.
They'll give the rebound to Al-Alfi, so that padding her total. Oh, tried to get the pass to Al-Alfi, and it's going to end up out of bounds and be UConn basketball.
Can't say enough about the deflections that Georgetown's defense has created due to their active hands.
The improvement against UConn from the December 15th game in Hartford.
This is a very different, much better Georgetown basketball team than the one we saw a couple of weeks ago. What, 3-4 weeks ago?
There's Fudd. Yep, and it goes for 3. And that will put her into 21 points on this game. After having a season high 23 the other night at the XL Center. Ransom, the quick move, but cut off as UConn defenders collapsed in the lane. They'll kick it out to Hession. She'll drop a three.
She's still feeling it. Cody Hession.
On fire today. That's 6 of 8 from 3 for 22 points for the freshman. Allie Zabel waiting to check back in for UConn. Got a foul on Ransom in the traffic as Shade was trying to work her way around. Gary Apple and Kara Walters standing by with a full recap of today's game. Plus, you get to hear Gino Auriemma's post-game news conference on the UConn Women's Basketball post-game show presented by your local New England Honda dealers. Ashlyn Shade checks out to a nice hand from the UConn supporters in the building. And Allie Zabel back into the ball game for UConn. Here's Strong. Rivera defending. Strong looking for someplace to go. Finds Chen, who made herself available but couldn't handle the pass.
Good idea. Gotta love the movement without the ball. Smart play by Chen. Good look from Strong, just couldn't make it happen.
Each team with 10 turnovers. The rebounding, UConn 35 to 26. And that is going to be Rivera hitting the floor again hard with that same leg she was holding earlier. After it got tangled up with Jenna El Alfi fighting for a rebound.
And you see her turn in the corner and
banged the knee, knee to knee with Caitlin Chen.
Just hard collision. You can see her left hand grabs that left upper leg again.
She is up though, the foul on Chen. Her first. Rivera staying in the ball game. And now Jenkins with the basketball. 10 to shoot. She'll try and throw one up over El Alfi and make it go. Nice touch there for Ariel Jenkins. What's she up to today? 9 points. Tough day shooting, 2 of 10, but 4 of 4 from the free throw line. Daring Jana to shoot it. She's thinking about it. Strong will cut. Get fed and score.
And so that's the problem. If you're going to stay way off her, then you got to clog the lane. Otherwise, pressure the ball so that pass in isn't that easy.
Sarah Strong up to 16 points, 8 rebounds on the game, plus 5 assists. Shot doesn't go. Nice fight for the rebound. El Alfi will get the ball through the traffic.
Terrific position by El Alfi.
Allie Zabel into traffic, and somehow that goes.
I thought she got away with a walk, too.
First points of the day for Zabel. Caden Samuels and Morgan Shelley at the scorer's table waiting to check back in for UConn with 1.5 minutes to go. Strong defending. And now Hession with the basketball. What a day this freshman from Miami has had today against UConn. Jenkins missed everything right into the hands of Strong. Good active hands from Kelsey.
Again.
And she'll end up with the loose ball. And will get fouled by Sarah Strong as she tried to take it to the rim. Speaking of take it to the rim, our take it to the rim moment brought to you by Duncan.
Well, what a pass here. Watch, you see Sarah Strong at the top of the key, the great cut. She noticed the defender was on the high side. Nice backdoor cut and a pretty pass from El Alfi.
AZ Fudd and Sarah Strong to the bench, leading UConn in this effort today. And a nice hand from particularly the Fudd family behind the UConn bench.
Finally, and so, yeah, they finally get to watch
AZ
play here.
There's a nice AZ smile, too. Very fine day for her today in D.C. as Ransom drops the free throw through. And she will head to check out of the ball game, as will Cody Hession. Now the line on AZ Fudd today is 21 points, 8 of 13, including 5 of 8 from 3. Sarah Strong, 16 points, 9 rebounds for Strong. Jenna El Alfi checks out of the ball game, and Caden Samuel, Morgan Shelley, Allie Zabel, Caitlin Chen, And KK Arnold, the 5 on the floor for UConn with a minute to go in this one.
Well, we talked in the beginning of the game that Fudd and Strong really had to step up without Beckers and without Ice Brady. Those two really needed to step up, and I thought El Alfie did a really nice job today as well.
Chen, shot won't go. Traffic for the rebound. Shelley comes away with the ball.
He's kept alive by Q. Caden Samuels with a nice job.
See if they're going to feed Q to try and get her a bucket on her home court in her home city. No, a little too strong.
Nice box out by Wilson there.
0 for 2 from the floor for Cadence today. So UConn going to get a 39 to 38, this should be a 40th straight win over Georgetown for the Huskies today. As after a slow start in which they trailed by 8 in the first quarter, the Huskies came alive in the second and did not take their foot off the gas right through the end. 6-0 in Big East play, 15-2 on the season. And UConn beats Georgetown by a final of 73 to 55. And again, AZ Fudd leading the way for UConn in her first time playing in Washington, D.C. Our player of the game presented by your local Hyundai dealers. Well, why not? It's got to be AZ.
Yeah, I mean, she just makes it look so effortless, the way she shoots the basketball. They got her some really good looks. She created the opportunities for herself. Great defense as well, but got enough threes, but got plenty of twos that they needed as well.
And going to get the KK social media treatment too. All right, Gino is with Chelsea.
Coach, your second straight game without Paige Beckers. You also played without Ice Brady. You were saying that some of your other players needed to step up. AZ Fudd and Sarah Strong combined for 37 points. What do you have to say about their effort combined?
Well, they have to look around and say, who are the guys most capable of getting the shots that they get, and they're both really good offensive players. So I'm not surprised. I think they're getting an opportunity to be even more aggressive than they normally are. So I'm glad AZ played well. This is her first time playing down here, and Sarah just keeps being Sarah. So, but yeah, we got a lot of stuff we got to work on between now and Wednesday. Let's put it that way.
What about your team's defensive effort? You were able to hold Kelsey Ransom to just 9 points. I know you were asking for more energy from them in the first half, but how about in the second half to close this out?
Yeah, I thought we did a good job on her. They came out and shot the ball way better than they've shot it all year long from the three-point line. People seem to do that against us quite often. So I think all in all, again, our goal is to always try to hold the other team under their average. So we did. We had stretches and lulls where we weren't good, but I thought that second half we did a lot of really good things.
All right, congratulations. Thank you.
Thoughts of Gino Auriemma after UConn defeats Georgetown by a 73-55 final score. DC native AZ Fudd leading the way for UConn, one of her 5 made threes on the day right there.